Hello and welcome to a beginner's guide to Premiere Elements. So when you open Premiere Elements, you've got this kind of interface. You've got quick, guided and expert. So I'm going to be doing the whole tutorial in expert mode, but it is still going to be a beginner's guide. But I will do one thing here in quick mode, which is add media, elements organizer. You can see we've got these items selected and we're going to just press add files and done. And you can see the video file I had, which is 9 minutes long. That is added there, and we also have a couple of images and they are automatically defaulting to 5 seconds long, and they're appearing here in the timeline. So another way to view the timeline is in expert mode. So we'll continue to expert edit, and all these are in the timeline. So what is going on with this timeline thing? Well, basically you see this here, this is going to be zooming in and out. So if we zoom all the way to the left, we've got basically 5 seconds there, and then we've got 9 minutes and then 5 seconds. So we click here just anywhere in the blank space. And I'm going to press Control and A. It's going to go a sky blue color, and then press delete, and it's gone. But it's not gone because it's in project assets over here. So we're going to drag this picture down here, and we're going to put this into video 1. Okay, so we're going to zoom in a bit more so we can actually see what's going on here. So here is our image, and what we're going to want to do with our image is we're going to want to put a title on it. So we go to title, you can see we've got various different motion titles. So these are going to have little animations on them. And the one that I'm going to go for is going to be one called Kinetic 3 Lines. So to put the title on, we can't put it on the same level as the image that we've got there. So we're going to put it on top over here in video 2. Now you'll notice that this box opened up. We could use this fast forward arrow here, and it's going to go back. So you'll notice there's 2 states, right? When we click here, it's not selected. When it goes brighter, it is selected. If we double click, it's going to appear back here. And you'll notice, so we can go that way, you notice that certain buttons get removed. So this button, this render button, settings and play full screen button all get removed. You have to deselect and then double click. And they're all gone now, right? So you can't actually see them. So we're going to type in some text here. We've got Minecraft there, and this is going to be modern. And then you can see I'm selecting each text box as we go, right? And then that will run a certain animation. So when I press play, it will automatically close this box and then run the animation. So you'll see I press play, box is closed, I press play again, and we can run the animation. Minecraft building modern. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure the clip underneath is the same length. So you see when we click here, we've got this square bracket close, and we also have a double-headed arrow. So that means that if we just hold down, you can see I'm selected that now. I'm going to drag. You see this little, you can see that double-headed arrow at the top. That's showing that's aligned. So now that is going to be completely aligned. So now we can click that again. Now if we go to the background, you see select background from monitor to enable background editing. So we'll select the background. Now we could change the opacity of we could change the opacity so we could see a little bit through. So you can see we can see a bit through. That might be one way of doing it. The other way to do it is just to make it transparent. So to transparent, it will completely appear. So what I might want to do is just to make this pop a little bit more, I may want to change the color of the text. So to change the color of the text is pretty straightforward. You can see we can stay in the same menu, and all we have to do is just select our item. So I've selected Minecraft, go to color, we can go to white. So we can make all the text white, for instance. Okay. So now when we play it, it's going to close the box. Minecraft, modern, building modern. Okay. So I want to go through all these buttons on the side with you today, and they are all there, even though you can't see. The one which you can't quite see is this one here, and that is the final button in the column. And it's called Add Graphics to Your Clips. So we're going to click on that one, and then we're going to go actually to the nature setting, and this often gives you a lot of flowers. So we're going to choose this one, the purple rose. And we're going to put that again in the level above, which is going to be video 3, okay? And I'm going to make sure that's extended all the way. So you can see that puts a big purple rose at the top, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, of course, you can't see the text underneath though. So that is a little bit of a problem. Now, when you click on this arrow, when we look at the sort of layer headers, there's certain things you can do. So for instance, if we didn't want to see the text, so you can see it like at this stage, there's loads of text underneath. So if I click this button, I can either I can do hide video. You see it's gone. So that's a way to hide various different layers if you don't want to see what's underneath. But we do want to see what's underneath, so we're going to try something else. Now you'll notice that we've got motion and opacity. So almost every clip you have will have a motion and opacity. And we can see that in here. So basically, you see how that's refreshing every time I click a different clip? That's because they all have their own separate ones. So what do we want to do first? Well, let's start with motion, shall we actually? So we're going to go for scale, and what we can do is if we do a motion and we do scale, let's make it bigger. 127, right? And you'll notice that as we go through the clip, that is just 127 the whole way through. So we've now been able to change that. You often want to put the timeline right at the beginning, and that's the best way to do it. So that is now really big. And if we wanted to change the opacity, we can make it much lighter. So we do want to do that. We'll make it like about 28%, just so it has a really, really subtle effect. So you can see. So I'm just going to go back, just change it a little bit bigger. And that should be perfect. Let's have a look. So that's pretty good, I think. Okay, so now I want to show you a little effect that we can do. So we click this button here, and we've got this. We've got our video one selected. We're going to put vignetting. We're going to drag this over here, and you'll notice that it appears over here underneath motion and opacity, and similarly here as well. And we're going to select amount, and we're going to do a keyframe there. It's currently set to -42. Let's go more than that. Let's make it -100 just to give a little illustration of this. We're going to put another keyframe right at the end there. And this value, we'll make this 0. You can also, by the way, type it in there manually. And you'll notice, if you take a look what's happened now to that line, you can see it's gone from 0 to... So if we go through, and you take a look at the amount value, it's actually changing as we go through. So it's like a little animation, right? And what we could do is it starts off sort of black in the corners. So what we might want to do as well is we might just want to go fade. We can do fade in video. Now you'll see, unfortunately, you'll notice that that image of the rose is still there. So you don't really want that. You want to actually just fade in each of the clips, right? So let's do fade in video, and then with this rose, right click, fade in video. So now if we take a look at the project, so you can see now we have a sort of, the whole thing fades in properly. It lightens up, and then we're ready to go to the next clip. Okay, so another thing you may want to do is add something called a color matte. So what we're going to do, go project assets, and we're going to click here. We're going to go to new item. We'll do color matte. We're going to do this color, and there you go. And we're going to put that down. You can see it adds a 429 second clip there. And we're going to put this is an image of an arrow. You may remember as we did at the beginning. And there it is. Probably want to make this a little bit shorter. We're going to go down to here, and then we can mirror the color matte there. So there we have the arrow here. Now what we might want to do on this clip is let's just zoom it in a bit. Click the arrow to go right. So we're going to go to this clip. We can close this one, and we're going to open this one. We're going to go to motion, and we're going to go to rotation. Okay, so we'll add a clip here, add a keyframe there on the rotation. So it's going to set the rotation to 0, and we're going to want to rotate that by 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to want to. So we've got the rotation there is 0, and at this point, the rotation is going to be 90 degrees. So we can just type that one in. 90 degrees. So you can see the arrow is rotating to 90 degrees. So Minecraft, building modern. And we have the rotation to 90 degrees. Now, what we could do is, it does seem to go on quite a bit after it actually stops there, doesn't it? So what you can do is you can actually delete. So let's just look at this, the timeline in a bit more detail for a moment. We're probably going to want to delete like a large section of it. So we can see it sort of stops about here, right? So we probably don't need like a lot of this section. So look what happens when we press the cut button. And you'll see we get these 3 little clips here. We can draw a box around them all. We could just press delete, but what we really want to do is want to right click and do delete and close gap. You see that's going to bring all the others in. So now you see, makes it a little bit cleaner. So we again go to the beginning of the clip, take a look at that. Fades in, Minecraft, building modern. It's not going to hang there for too long though, and then we're going to go straight into our next clip. But we could now put a transition in there as well. So there's various different things you can do, and this is the transition menu. One of the ones which is kind of common is the cross dissolve. So we just drag it in, we can put it in the middle of the clip. So you can see there's 3 spots we can put it there on the left. Here's the middle, and then there's the right of the clip. That gives an interesting effect, which I kind of like, right? And then we're going to be transitioning into our actual footage, which is going to be... Let's try actually putting this on layer 2. It's probably not exactly what you should do, but it's just fun. And let's put another cross dissolve in here. And you'll find when you do this that like all kinds of interesting things happen. Like I've made this video several times before, and it's like it didn't turn out like this at all. I think we want that on the left as well. So let's see how that looks. So this video does have some audio on it, so we want to just mute that. Not hide the video. We want to mute this audio. There are a lot of different transitions you can do here. But you can see when you fade in from I mean that's kind of interesting as well. It's interesting how it goes black there as well. You see it goes black as soon as it gets to the edge of the clip. I think what you would want is you don't want it to go black like that. So it tells me that probably I need to put it on either one side or the other. Let's try on the right clip here. So yeah, if I do it on the right side, you see, that is it is all black there. And if I do it on the left side, I imagine it's going to be the opposite, right? So you see, that actually has quite a powerful effect, actually. So remember, we did it on the left for 1 second. So what we might want to do is extend this by 1 second. It might make a lot of sense to do that, right? If we do here, we can freeze frame, and we're going to freeze frame that for 1 further second, and we're going to insert that into the movie. So you can see it's put it down here. So we're going to just put it there. And this way, what we can do actually is then we'll be able to transition correctly, right? So now you can see we've got the clip going right, and then it stops there, right? So what we can do with this now is we can actually put our transition, we can do that iris cross that we were talking about. Remember we did it on the left side. So I like that transition. So that is actually quite a powerful transition like that. This is the great thing about this program, is that there's so many different ways that you can do like interesting, and you can get interesting effects and transitions. Yeah, just it's always fun to mess around, experiment, see what you can do with this program. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.